this is Christy Maver, Director of Marketing at Numenta, and I'm here today with Jeff Hawkins, co-founder of Numenta. So first, Jeff, thanks for taking the time to chat today.
Always fun, Christy.
So as we sit here, it's December 2016, and as is typical to do this time of year, we're reflecting back on 2016 as we also look ahead to the next year. I want to start by asking you to talk a little bit about the mission of Numenta and maybe some of the highlights from 2016 in terms of progressing that mission.
Sure. For those who follow Numenta for many years, our mission hasn't changed, but I'll remind you what it is. We have two missions. Our primary mission is a scientific one, which is to reverse engineer the neocortex, figure out how the brain works. That's pretty ambitious, but it's an exciting thing to work on, and I think we're making good progress on that. Our second mission is to basically take what we learn about the brain, turn it into relevant machine learning technology, and ultimately have it influence or lead to AI or machine intelligence in the future. So those are our two missions. We made the good progress on both of those last year. On our primary one, on the research side, we published several important papers for us in peer-reviewed journals. These are neuroscience and machine learning journals. That was a new thing for us this year. We hadn't really been focusing on that. So we got several papers published and working on several more. We also started some research collaborations with neuroscientists. So neuroscientists, more traditional lab-oriented neuroscientists, are starting to take an interest in our work and want to test our theories. So that's a really nice turn of events. On the machine learning AI side, we did a number of things. We just, at the end of last year, end of 2015, we published the Numenta Anomaly Benchmark, which was well received, and we are continuing to work on that, and people are contributing to that, which is great. We also released HTM Studio, which was a great way that people could easily test data on the machine learning algorithms we've developed at Numenta, because up to now it's been pretty technical. So that almost anybody, even a non-technical person, can do that. And that's led to a lot of interest. A lot of companies are coming in and you can try their data on that. So those are sort of the highlights of what we did for last year.
Okay, great. Now, you mentioned that you made a lot of progress on the theory this year. Can you talk about what that progress was?
Sure. We did, actually. We early in 2016, we had what I consider a very significant breakthrough in neocortical theory. It was thrilling. It still is thrilling. I've talked a little bit about it in some of the forums, and I think we even had a talk we posted someplace about an informal talk about this. But basically, we're looking for principles by which the neocortex works. And the neocortex is complicated, and we discovered sort of, again, what I consider a very major principle. I won't go into detail about it, but essentially, the neocortex is not just processing input data, if you will, or sensory input. It's putting that information in the context of a reference frame of objects in the world. So when I look at your face, it's not just a set of features which I assemble into a face. Those features in the neocortex are being assigned in a sort of a 3D model of your face. And this is happening very low down. It's hard to describe in a very short interview like this, but it's a major discovery from our point of view. It really explains a lot about how the layers in the neocortex, what they're doing, how it is we end up with the representations we have. It's a key component, and so we spent a lot of this year working on that, and we're continuing to work on it. That's pretty much all my focus this year.
That's very exciting. Now, what kind of interest have you seen over this past year from the deep learning world, AI world, in what Numenta's doing?
Yeah, we've definitely seen an uptick in interest in our neuroscience work from the machine learning AI world. There's no question about that. This blog post we wrote a year ago, I think it was, about which was, what was it called? It was like, what is machine learning versus AI versus machine intelligence? I wrote that with Donna Dubinsky. That's got a lot of play, and I think what we're seeing there is, and we've seen this from news outlets around the world, people coming to us saying, "Hey, we're trying to understand the intersection between brains and AI. We think that's an important intersection there," and we haven't seen that in the past. In our conversations at conferences and meeting with individual researchers, that there's a heightened interest from the AI world about, hey, maybe we need to study brains, maybe we need to learn from brains. You guys, Numenta, seem to be doing some of the most interesting work in that field. Let's have a conversation. So that's clearly a long-term goal of ours, and we've definitely seen an uptick in that interest in that. in 2016. And I think, one of the things we really want to do going in 2017, and it's part of your work, Christy, is to promote that more and make a bigger deal about that.
And in fact, recently we published a paper on continuous online learning.
Oh,
that
was a surprise.
Yes.
We one of the academic papers we published, as you just mentioned, was in a journal called Computation. This isn't for everybody to read because it's pretty mathy and pretty technical. And we were surprised. It was comparing our machine learning algorithms derived from the brain with some existing machine learning algorithms used in the deep learning and machine learning AI world. And that got a lot of play. We got quite a few people picked it up, news organizations picked it up, and people are interested in that. How does this relate to machine learning techniques? I was surprised by that. It was a pretty dry technical paper, but when you start intersecting between these two worlds, there's a lot of interest in it.
Well, that bodes well for 2017.
Let's hope so.
Now, as you look forward to next year, what are you most excited about?
Well, I am excited. There's no question about that. The work we do here is fun and interesting and exciting. I think so. But the big thing is we're going to have to really, we have to keep progressing on the new theoretical ideas we had in 2016. This big advance I just mentioned, we are in the process of implementing it in software, testing it, verifying how it works, building demonstrations of it. We're doing this right now. One of our employees is building a robotic simulator to demonstrate how this works. We have to get it published in peer-reviewed journals. That's really hard. It takes a long time to get peer-reviewed journals to publish results. So we're working on that already. And so we'll be promoting that theory as well. So that's going to be really the big focus. And as we go, we'll have to ask, how does that scientific breakthrough relate back to machine learning algorithms? How do we make it practical for people to use this and to implement? It's not obvious right at the moment. So we're figuring out a lot, what is the right way of implementing this in a way that's useful for machine learning and AI. So that would be an interesting challenge for us to figure that out. But it's going to be almost all focused on that new advance that we came up with 10 months ago.
Well, it's very exciting times here at Inventa. So Jeff, thank you for your time today. And thank you all for following us. We hope you'll continue to follow us in 2017, and we wish you a very happy new year.
Yes, thanks a lot.